Let's jump to this story from SCNR. Vice President Harris raises $81 million in a day, breaking the 24-hour fundraising record. Even those that may have preferred an open convention have quickly coalesced around her overnight. Now I have a question. If you donated the maximum to Joe Biden's campaign, could you donate a maximum to Kamala Harris's campaign because it is a different campaign? And are they allowed to transfer the funds from the Biden campaign to the Harris campaign?
I've seen a lot of mixed reporting on this. Like, I know, what's his name, who's Vogue's new political correspondent, was saying money that was raised through the DNC for the Biden-Harris campaign, she gets access to. But then other forms, she may not.
So if I donated, I shouldn't say I, but if a person donated, what is it, 2,300? Is it the max this year?
I think so.
28.25.
What is it?
20.25 per person.
2,825.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's for Missouri.
I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's not federal.
Oh.
So that's probably state then.
Yeah.
But it could be. It could be still governed by FEC. I'm not sure. But my question is, regardless, if you donated the max to Joe Biden, and then Joe Biden drops out, Kamala Harris gets that money. Can the same person donate the maximum to Kamala Harris? She's a different candidate.
I believe you can do a transfer, transfer your money from a PAC to another PAC.
That means individuals can make double the donations if that's true.
Wow.
So I want to know if that's true or not, or if they just say, no, the Biden-Harris ticket donations count towards Harris as well.
And it might depend if you donated to like a super PAC versus like directly through the DNC or something.
You can give any amount to super PACs.
Also, $81 million for 81 million votes, right?
Yeah. Well, my friends, we're at the point in saving democracy where you choose your nominee by secret ballot through political elites to shut down the candidate, Donald Trump, who was chosen by popular mandate. Democrats are choosing their nominee in secret at a convention, and the American people have no say. Donald Trump was chosen by the American people who voted in a primary process, and the Democrats are calling that fascism.
I had seen some reporting on Saturday when I was traveling back that the timing of his withdrawal was significant because, this was on Sunday. The DNC, if I'm not mistaken, by their rules, and some of the rules have to be decided on at convention, if he had become formally the nominee and then withdrawn from the campaign, that the leadership of the Democratic National Committee would then have the right to select the new person. They wouldn't have to rely on delegates at all. And so it is interesting to me that, there is now this month period where theoretically Kamala could get challenged. There's all kinds of people who could step out of the woodwork and say, actually, I don't support her. She could fall on her face in polling. I mean, we really don't know. And I will also point out that at least $1 million of this, 81 million, probably was that 1 million raised by Win with Black Women. This was this call that like 44,000 women got on and raised money for Kamala, because so much of this really is going to be about identity politics.
This 81 million seems to be explicitly the Harris campaign. That's why it's a record amount. Super PACs have raised way more than that. Nobody counts that towards record amounts. They're saying Team Harris has raised this, and it's from the official Harris for President campaign issuing the statement. They could be lying, I guess, and calling Team Harris anything meant to support Democrats, but I do not believe that's the case.
And there were all those major donors who had told Biden they were going to stop donating until he left the ticket. So maybe this is just promises being fulfilled, right? He's left the campaign. And so these people who would have been donated to the campaign anyways are now putting their money, where their mouths are, so to speak, because he's left. And so they, in some ways, Kamala is now owed the money that they were holding hostage.
Can they transfer this to the next candidate?
I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. Who would her
Right.
VP be? Because how do you balance a Kamala Harris ticket?
Kamala's going to choose Hillary, and then she's going to...
She's going to lose again.
No. Kamala's going to choose Hillary Clinton as her VP, and then as soon as she gets elected, Kamala is going to suffer a boating accident in Arkansas, and Hillary Clinton will become president.
Her dream. Yeah. That's her dream.
I think it's very important that we wish for the health and well-being of President Joe Biden, and I mean that with all sincerity, and Kamala Harris. Donald Trump is doing very, very well in the polls. He's raising lots of money. He has survived an assassination attempt. And again, in all seriousness, the temperature is way too high. Everybody needs to chill out. I think, and we got to go over what happened with this hearing in just a little bit. But I think the best thing for this country and for those that support Donald Trump is that Joe Biden appear this week with a smile on his face and says, guys, I am not ill. There was no emergency. I'm just thinking that the Democrats are right, and I'm not going to be able to run this campaign properly. And then we say, okay, then they
Farewell,
can
Joe.
they can
Back
give
to-
us whoever they want. They can give it Kamala Harris or whatever. Fine, but I think for the sake of everything, stability is the health and well-being of all of these people, so we can have a calm, which we're not going to, but I'd like to have a calm November election.
What if he comes back and it's just like, I'm kidding. I'm not going anywhere.
No.
I'm doing it.
I'm saying, what if he comes out and goes, I'm not resigning. I did not agree to this.
Kind of like Dianne Feinstein, who was like, I'm not resigning.
Yep.
And then her staff had to be like, no, but we already put out the statement. I mean, it was not good.
Sir, the clone is backfiring.
No. This is one of my theories, right? That so Joe Biden refuses to drop out. So Democrats, Schumer, Schiff, and the rest of them are like, Biden, drop out. And he goes, no, I'm staying in. So they craft the letter, go to an intern and say, post this now. And he's like, but I can't. I'm like, post it now, or we have got 6 ways from Sunday for making your life a living hell. They post the message. Biden's doing nap time Sunday. It's ice cream day, apparently.
Yeah.
And then he wakes up and he sees he's resigned. What can he do? Nothing.
Jill is gonna come back to the White House and then say it.
That's the VP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jill Biden.
Jill's the VP.
I wonder if it's
Dr.
Joe
Joe
Biden,
Biden.
who will come out and say, like, well, he was unfairly forced out. Our family deserved another 4 years in the White House. Because again, I think the Biden family did not want to leave. It is interesting
Hunter?
to think that he has, like, in the call or recording or whatever it was, he said, "I'm going to be on the campaign trail with you, Kamala."
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't seem like he is. He doesn't seem like he's planning to just step back and behind the curtain and fade into oblivion.
Yeah.
I think Joe Biden recorded a message with Kamala Harris as a contingency in the event that he. This is actually, I think, like 95% likely. Joe Biden is 81. He is already 2 years past American average male life expectancy. If I mean, look, I'm in my I'm in my late 30s. I have already had discussions about insurance and will. Shane, have you had these conversations?
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
You think someone who's 81 isn't having these
We're
conversations?
midlife.
Yep. Halfway there.
Yep.
And Joe Biden at 81, I guarantee you, is talking to his family and saying, I'm 81. I'm very old. I'm 2 years past expectancy. What do we need to do to prepare for the end? And I bet they said, we need some statements from you pre-recorded for a soft landing in the event it's an abrupt medical emergency. That's one of them. I'm sure he's I bet he updates his will every week, considering what's going on. I'm also wondering if Hunter Biden's going to get pardoned now. Because where's Joe?
That might have been part of the deal. You step down, we make sure Hunter's okay.
I don't know that Joe Biden stepped down.
That'd be wild.
Well, no, I'm saying that he was at home and he didn't wake up. And not that he's dead,
Right.
but that he didn't wake up and they're like, oh, my, he's
What do we do?
What do we do?
Right.
And then they were like, sign a letter, put out a statement, Joe can't run, and then we'll figure it out later. I mean, it's not the first time in American history a president has been lied about.
Right. Wasn't Wilson incapacitated for a bit in the end?
Oh, I don't know.
And his wife kind of took over?
FDR?
He's having father time with Hunter right now.
Oh, yeah. That's what it is.
He needs it.
I wonder, you know, for national security reasons, I don't know that any president, they would come out and just announce their death. Unless it was very overt, like an assassination.
Like they tried to do with Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was,
But they
and that
failed.
was live streamed. That was crazy.
And I thought it was weird that even the BBC and CNN were there, live streaming.
Were they though?
Yeah.
I've heard that. I've never confirmed that. Is that true?
I've seen the BBC videos, but even that, it's hard to know what's true. You saw the BBC guy on the ground. waiting
BBC
for it to
was
go.
there.
It seems like it was, but it's the internet.
Also,
Anything's
let's talk
possible.
about the White House press corps with the debate. And they were kicked out of the building and they were concerned about a medical emergency that might
Right.
happen.
I thought the White House press corps was never going to be allowed in. I mean, there was supposed to be no audience in the room for that.
They were petitioning to be allowed in
Yeah.
because they said that we want to witness the medical emergency, basically.
I think they got a tip off.
Yeah. But this guy's dying. We want to see it. We want to tell the American
No,
people
I
about
think
it.
they were like, expect to see a medical episode live on television. I feel like Democrats have planned this out.
I do too. I think he's kind of like not a Trojan horse, a Trojan corpse. And they got him in there and they're like, we're just going to get him past the finish line to switch him out. You know, he's a vessel for these people.
It is wild that it is going to be mid-August when we find out who Trump is running against.
Yeah, it's totally wild.
We never in my life. When was the last time in U.S. history something like this has happened?
I can't think of it.
It's and I think someone said it's been over 100 years since the first back-to-back single-term presidencies.
Was it the 60s maybe? With RFK,
I don't know.
Sr., when he was assassinated?
I don't know.
Seems like there's a lot of parallels to that. I'm not sure though. It's going to be nuts. I want to go see it.
I think that it's chaos, really. I think that there's a lot of things at play, a lot of forces vying to be in control, and that they are at odds. And that's why I find the relationship between the Democratic National Committee and the Biden administration so interesting. This is a very difficult position to put anyone in. I mean, you're effectively asking someone to step in, cultivate this crazy, huge, multi-million-dollar organization in 4 weeks to get the nomination. I mean, maybe you could argue it's 4 months because they have to get to the election, but it's a very difficult task to be in. And I think if they had any control over Joe Biden, they would have pulled him sooner.
I think he's dead. I'm just thinking.
Well, I used to say as long as he had a pulse, he was going to be on the ticket. So I definitely had that.
She knows she's president, but she can't say it.
Well, there's no coincidence. In 2024, Hunter Biden dropped his lawsuit against Fox the same day Joe Biden dropped out.
I'm just thinking about it, and I'm like, Joe Biden would make a Twitter video unless he could not make a video. Jill Biden.
Yes.
Why is Jill or Hunter? Hunter, I get, but where's Jill? She was just doing a rally a week ago. Joe Biden dropped out. I don't know that he's dead, but I imagine what's stopping Jill from actually making a statement. She is at his side right now, holding his hand as he struggles to breathe, and he's on an intubator.
I mean, and if he isn't in a very end of life state, this is a lack of leadership from the man who is supposed to be in charge of the White House, right? Like, let's contrast this moment. Let's say he's okay, he's sick with COVID or whatever, but he's just super emotional. He's mad he's being forced to drop out. He's mad that all these Democrats have turned on him. He doesn't have the grace right now to make a video statement. So he said, forget it. You release that thing on X and I'm done. I don't want to talk to anyone. Meanwhile, we have Trump, who gets hit in the head by a bullet and then takes a moment to rally the crowd and say, I'm okay, we're moving forward, fight, fight, fight. Like,
we say shot in the head.
These are the two differences between these people. He's someone who is thinking selfishly would say, I don't deserve to, even virtually face the American people, whereas if someone else who, again, attempted assassination and is still thinking, I need to do something for the people who are here supporting me. It's very contrasting styles of leadership.
Joe Biden did say that he would unify the nation, but he didn't think that Trump was going to get it done.
Thanks for watching this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to check out the live show Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. on this channel. Subscribe and we'll see you all there.